middle path somewhere. Like Rajni said, every organization have to classify, in different buckets their own talent and then decide on compensation. If you were to look at incentive or incentive-based employees who get a lot of incentive, you would always want them to start earning more incentive because you would want the fixed and the incentive ratio to vary and the fixed to go down, but you would still want to protect on money and incentivize. But there you start to putting in a lot more caveats. You start to putting checks like saying, I'm going to put 30% deferred. Not only for your retention, but also for a bad sale. I don't want a bad sale. I don't want to incentivize you and pay you for a bad sale next quarter and you leave me the quarter after that. So if you've done a sale, I'm going to build in more accountability bridges there, and those checks and balances will start to come in. People will start to see money, but to realize the realization of that money will start to go over a period of time. That's where it is. If you were to look at your specialized skill set, you still want to retain them because your cost of attracting that talent is only going to go up in the market. So I might as well put extra few percentage points on the table to retain that guy who I know is my critical or a specialized skill set, rather than to let him go and hire. So I think those classifications will somewhere come in. And as partner, you would want, I've always been thinking about it, we would want you to look at that whole stuff when you engage with us. We talked about percentages, we talked about people coming in and not doing it. But at some point, I think, and maybe that's something that's a few years away in India. But that's something that I think about a lot, is that at some stage, as partners that you come into the being, you would have to look at a similar model for your own, incentive and remuneration. So I'm sorry to. Let me just complete. So when I'm saying that is, today if you were to, be like Rajan said, everyone wants to come and say, let me do that middle management at 16%, 17%, 20%. What you would have to look at, maybe 4 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, is saying, let's look at saying, what is not only the retention of the guy, which we all build caveats saying 3 months, 6 months, but also the performance.
Absolutely. So
if you give me a 1 rater or on a scale of 1 to 5, and 1 is the highest, let me then give you an incentive after 12 months to a certain percentage point. And maybe that's a few years away. But that is the model that we all need to look at. Because in the end, there are so many players there, and you would really need to build in those gadgets.
Those are actually the innovation that I was talking about in talent acquisition. That's what I was trying to say, that there are innovative ways to engage and so on and so forth. And I think again, coming back to the industry body, there's a lot of work that we're doing with a lot of sectors, and I thought, this is the first time we're having a breakfast meeting for the financial services sector here in Delhi. But there's a lot of work we're doing with other sectors, and we're doing it with sectoral bodies to say that if you engage with ERA members, ERA will then put together this thing and say, okay, if we work with the insurance body which represents, and our members, we would work at these rates, we would provide you innovation, we would drive that innovation for you, so that you see some value coming from the industry as well. And I think we're very, very committed to doing this. And we've made some headways with different industries like retail. We're very committed to doing it for other industries as well. But it requires engagement at an industry body to an industry body level and saying, okay, this is how much I give to your industry, this is what I want from it.
If you have, one of the things I was thinking about, because you now got a body, and we sort of interact with whoever and get to know what's happening in the industry, honestly. Plus, we interact with each other and say, what this is happening. One of the things which this body may want to do is to put together some information which is useful to the insurance industry or the BFSI industry, saying and do it maybe quarterly, if you want to do it half yearly, some information which is useful. So if I shouldn't hear it when I ask
for it. Yeah.
So what are the kind of movements happening, where are the pressure points? As we say, we discover that we've been coaching investment people from each other and this and that. So things like that. Some of the things which you see, a bit of a trend. What's the kind of movements which are happening? Which are the new players which are coming? Etc. etc. I'm saying there is no well documented stuff which is there now, which as a body you can do.
Absolutely.
And do it at a periodical interval. But
yeah.
Really
quarterly, I think, would be a really good idea. It's a great suggestion for us to take forward.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one point where I think we can which we need to partner is if we can raise the level of awareness about the industry to a larger talent pool. I think it's been done by some individual players. I think there's a very targeted communication about a career in insurance. If that's something that we can partner, because your reach obviously is much higher than individual companies.
Yeah, I mean, each company is hundreds and hundreds and thousands of candidates. So, yeah, I agree with you. That, I mean, these are very useful. This is